Good evening, Stampers, and welcome to Mystery Card Class. I hope you've had a chance to gather your supplies so that you can join me as we go through the clues. I'm Nancy Dodge from YB Stamp. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I hope to inspire you to use what you've got to make this mystery card. So we're going to jump right into the clues. All right, clue number 1. So I have all my cardstock that I've pre-cut. All right, score vanilla or white or vanilla cardstock. That's this one. At 2 3/4 from either end. So, going to open my trimmer. Go to 2 3/4. Make sure I don't use the blade. Score it. I'm going to flip it around. Put it at 2 3/4. Score it. Then it says to fold it and meet it in the middle. So I'm going to just kind of gently put it together so that it meets in the middle and it's even. And then I'm going to burnish my ends. All right, that's clue number 1. Clue number 2, take your DSP. We're going to pull our trimmer out again, and it's 5.5 by 4, and we're going to cut it at 2 3/4. I love this DSP, don't you? It's from Masterfully Made. It's one of my new favorites. I really like it. Can you guys hear me? I hope so. There's my mic. Okay. 2 3/4. I'm going to cut it. And then adhere each piece to the flaps like that. All right. Did I cut that wrong? I did, didn't I? Stand by. I think I have another piece. I had another piece. Wow. I think, yep, I did. I messed up on the size. I think what happened is I cut 2 pieces of the exact same DSP, and I took one and I thought it was too big, so I cut it down and I took the wrong one. So hold on while I open this up quick. Hi, Carolyn. Good, I'm glad you can hear me. I messed up already on my cut. It wasn't the measurement, it was the measurer. Alright, isn't this pretty DSP? It's one of my favorites. I just love it. And this is the one that I used. So we're going to recut that. And it was 4 inches. By 5.5. I don't know if you can see me doing that. 5.5. And then I cut that 5.5 down to 2 3/4. All right, it matches. Yay. All right. Now I'm going to stick those pieces aside. Now, where were we on our directions? Adhere. There we go. Which way does it go? That way. Okay. So I'm going to add some adhesive I'm choosing the Stamp and Seal. Some people like glue, some people like tear and tape. I like Stamp and Seal. Alright, now how did we have that messed up already? Like that. Alright. So I'm going to center this on each flap so that it meets. So now you can't even tell that there's a cut there. Yep, I messed up already. Par for the course. Anyway, clue number 3. Stamp image that has coordinating die, color if desired, and run through machine to cut. Alright, I picked the two-tone Flora. I'm going to use this flower. Well, this just happens to be a two-stepper, but that's okay. And then pull out the die that matches, which is this one, right? I hope. Yeah, it's that die. Alright, stick it aside. I got my stamping blocks, and I have 2 colors of ink, Berry Burst and Bubble Bath. And I'm going to do the lighter color. Pull up my cardstock, ink up. It's really juicy. Press down, close my ink, because I'll end up with it all over my hand. Alright, and then the next one in Berry Burst. Now the great thing about these polymer stamps is you can see through them to get it about where you want it. And if you don't, that's okay, because ooh, that came out pretty cool. Off a little, but you know what? The die will hide that. Alright, I'm going to pull out my mini. Put it on. Wind it up. Get it right. Just batting 1,000 tonight, aren't I? What have I done? There we go. Now either carefully put it on or put some post-it note or something down so it stays in place. And voila. Cut image. Yeah, this two-step stamping is very forgiving, but still really pretty. Alright. That's clue number 3. Now, clue number 4 is a bit tricky, so I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to put just the table on the screen. So using the same die, we're going to take the card assembly and my big stamp cut and emboss machine, and I'm only going to use 2 plates, number 1 and number 2, and then I'm going to take number 2 from my mini and stick it in between the card, and then I'm going to put a 3 on top and run it through the machine with that same die. Okay, so hold on, I'm going to pull the machine out. I know it's big and bulky. Hopefully you can see most of it. Alright, so I'm taking off one of the number 3s, And I have 1 and 2 down, so there's number 2 and there's number 1. And I'm putting my card assembly, whoops, I was going to switch to the big screen so you could see it. I'm putting my, so see there's 1 and 2. And then I took my card assembly and I have the small plate inside of it. And I'm going to put that down. And then I'm going to take the die that we just cut out and stick it right there. Now I'm going to take a little post-it note just to piece to stick it down because I don't want it to move. And then I'm going to put, you can't see, well, you can sort of see it, number 3 on top and run it through the machine. All right, so I'm going to gently pull this off. For some reason the post-it notes really like the DSP, so I got to do it gentle so it doesn't pull the paper. There. So now that's what our card looks like. I hope you understood that, because it can be a little complicated. All right, let's go on to clue number 5. Adhere assembly to your 5.5 by 4.25 cardstock. You know what I did? I messed up again. I didn't read my instructions very well, and I forgot to cut this to 4 inches instead of 4.25. So I'm just going to take my trimmer and I'm going to cut 1/8 of an inch off of either side. It looks much better when you do that. Alright, 1/8 of an inch off either side. Hopefully that's all I'll need of the trimmer. Alright, assembly to the cardstock. So I'm going to flip it over, use my stamp and seal again. And I'm going to put a little bit more down the middle, just because I want it to stay adhered. I'm going to have just like 1/8 of an inch on the top and the bottom and flush with the left and the right. So that's what it looks like. All right, on to clue number 6. Put adhesive on the back of the die cut. Close card flat. Position die cut to fit in the area and adhere. Now I'm going to use some of the Tombow green glue. That's what this is, but I have it in a little different container. I just dumped it in here just because I can get a finer, thinner edge on it, and it doesn't just bloop out. All right. So I'm going to fit this in so it's flush. Just holding it down for a minute to give it a good stick. So that's what the front looks like so far. All right, let's see. Clue number 7. Stamp banner with sentiment if desired and adhere to front of card. You may also stamp a sentiment inside. So my stamp set does not have a sentiment, so I thought I would use this, Go To Greetings. And I'm going to do Happy Birthday. And I'm going to stamp it in Pretty Peacock because I thought that would add nice. And all right, I got that piece. Where did my little white piece go? Oh, there it is. It was hiding. All right. Stamp that. Happy birthday. Close my ink. And I'm going to stick it on this Pretty Peacock strip. And then I'm just going to trim it off with my snips. And I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back. Just make sure wherever you add, if you're adding adhesive, like if you want it to go all the way across the front like that, make sure that you don't add adhesive all the way across, otherwise you're never going to be able to open your card. Alright, so I think I'll put it on 3/4. Like so. There. Alright, clue number 8, embellish if desired. And I do desire. And I have the tinsel gems, which are my new favorite bling. So I can use the, I think that's the pretty, the Berry Burst, but it's kind of in between. And this, I think it's the Pretty Peacock, but I think I'm going to go with the pink, just because. And a couple gems, just to give it a little extra zhuzh. And there we go, our mystery card. And you could put something on the inside. I'll show you some of the cards that I did, other than this one. Let me switch to the big screen. So there's the one that we just did. And then I have, this is the very first one that I did with the beautiful balloons. I did Happy Birthday here. And this is DSP. And then let's get our celebration on. But see, you can't see that from the outside. And then the second one I did with this really pretty paper. Here for you now, and in better days ahead. And then the one, that last one I did was the little turtle from the Rainy Day Friends. And I stamped Oh Happy Day, and I used my cloud punch to punch that out. And then I stamped some flowers and used the die cut. It's just the plain turtle. So there are 4 cards made with these mystery card directions. Alrighty, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I hope I've inspired you to pull out some DSP and some dies and some stamps and embellishments if you desire to make your own mystery card. If you would like directions to this, please contact me. I do have a PDF on that. So next Sunday, back to basics again. I hope you can join me then, 7 o'clock. Until then, happy stamping.